Y'all, we've all had embarrassing BO moments. Look, I'm from Mississippi where it's 150 degrees and humid in the summer, and BO should have been my middle name growing up, okay? And now, as a lady of a certain age with a bountiful bosom, my main issue has always been that under boob sweat. But luckily, I have Lumi, which is powered by mandelic acid to control odor in a new way. Lumi delivers outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from your pits to your feet, to your underboob, and even your privates. You know, Lumi was invented by a female OBGYN. Lumi has now earned over 300,000 five-star reviews from people like me who love to feel confident from head to toe. And you guys, they have a new scent that you're going to love. It's called Vanilla Bliss. I love anything vanilla, and I love this so much. And it's apparently already on its way to being one of their most popular scents, even though it just came out. So do you want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant right now? You can find it at Walmart, Target, or other retailers. But to get the best deals, you should go to LumiDeodorant.com. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes. You guys, the deodorant wipes are great. Leave them in your car, throw them in your purse. They're great. And it comes with free shipping. As a special offer for my listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack, y'all. You have to do it. So insert code Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. Okay. Use code Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's LumiDeodorant.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you, okay? Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lumi. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. That means it's TLC Tuesday. And that means I've got my girl Kimberly here to talk about 90 Day Fiance. All right. Heavy on the MP this week, light on the Kimberly. So that's good for you.
I'm just going to sit back. I got no sleep last night. I'm just going to close my eyes. Let the dulcet tones of Mary Payne just watch over me.
Now, why didn't you get sleep last night?
I don't know. Sometimes I'm just not a good sleeper. I have stomach issues. Yeah.
Yeah. I told you I finally gotten my sleeping medications just right. Ooh, did you get a Lipsy? You got a Lipsy.
I did. Bye-bye lip wrinkles. No, thank you.
No,
sir.
thank you. You can't get us. We've got Lipsies. That's right. Now, here's something exciting.
You don't know what we're talking about.
You're not watching on YouTube.
You're not watching on YouTube. Mary Payne found the invention.
Well,
because I had seen something like this before, but all the reviews were, this was like a few years ago, and all the reviews were like, it's impossible to drink from.
Yeah.
And so this is really actually very easy to drink from.
Hashtag not a sponsor, guys. But I will tell you that a bunkie reached out on Facebook and said, I'm dying that you're talking about Lipsies. A friend of mine is the founder.
No way.
Yes. And I said, well, tell them to reach out because we love it. But I have to give all the credit to Deanna Chang of How to Be Less Old because she's the one that told me about it initially. So I can't take credit for finding it. I have to give the credit to Deanna. So I told the bunkie, I was like, all credit goes to Deanna Chang of How to Be Less Old, but I have been promoting them and I put them in my Amazon store because I was like, in case you can't find them, you can find them there. But just LIPZI is how you find them. And they work.
Because before you had to choose between getting your teeth stained by drinking regularly, like commoner, or getting lip wrinkles from sucking up through a straw. And that is a Sophie's choice that no one wants to make.
That's right. I agree with all that. Kimberly, how are you loving your new headphones? They're wireless. They're cute. They match your shirt.
Thank you. They're so comfy. And
Yeah.
they don't make a weird buzzing noise that mine were starting to make because the cord got all bent.
And are they for a child? Because they look very small.
They're not, although I have used child ones in the past. I think my head is not very big.
Yeah, I've got the same thing. I'm a kid. And again, like we were talking last night with Katie, and I use these they're called earpods instead of AirPods. They're earpods, so they're made by Apple. But I do, after being sitting here doing this, some days if I've had like 3-4 recordings, like a large number of recordings, I will feel that they're in my ears. Sometimes, like when you get off a boat, you're still on a boat. Or I used to feel when I used to ride the metro, like the subway back and forth to work, I would at night lay in the bed and feel like I was on the metro. Like,
oh, that's so funny.
mm-hmm.
Well, it's like the phantom vibrations you feel from your phone sometimes, even though you don't have your phone on you.
That's like
Have you ever
Pavlov's
had
dog.
that?
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah.
Someone's calling me. My alarm is going off. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm just vibrating for no reason. That's not alarming.
No, I also fake it a lot of times to get out of things. Oh, gotta go. My phone's ringing.
Gotta go. I hope you have fun with this recording, Mary Payne.
Yeah, bye. Okay, now a lot of people reached out to tell me that they saw from the previews that Mark and Mina were going to Bald Head Island. Now, maybe next week they're going to Bald Head Island, but this week they were not at Bald Head Island. They are squarely in Southport. They show the Southport Tower many times. And he says at one point, see that island over there? That's where the family is. Completely wrong. You cannot fully see Bald Head Island from Southport, but okay.
Fakery.
So I had told my realtor there that I've been working with, I told her, get excited. Bald Head's going to be featured. And then I said, don't bother because they're just in Southport. Yeah. Yeah.
I have other issues with their storyline too that we'll get to when we do them. So I'm excited that there was already one fakery.
Yeah. Now maybe next week they get on the ferry and go to the island, but currently they're staying in a condo in Southport. They like checked into a condo in Southport. I'm like, how much more Southport do you need to see? I got all excited too. Excited. Because that's how I originally found Bald Head Island was from reality TV.
Really?
Yeah. And of course, talking about it here, lots of people here were like, of course we know about this place. I was like, how would I know? I'm from Mississippi. I don't know anything about North Carolina. Yeah. Because Kate plus 8, when she was in the middle of the divorce, she took the kids to Bald Head because she was like, it's a place where like the paparazzi can't get them. But the paparazzi did get on boats and go around and look for them on boats. Yeah.
So the one good thing Kate ever did was introduce you to Bald Head Island.
That's right. That's right. And now.
Good job, Kate. You're not as bad as we all say.
And now it will be my home one day. God willing. Putting it into the universe. Okay. I was a guest on Kimberly and Katie's A Date with Yellow Jackets, A Date with K and K. That is their YouTube channel. I was on it Sunday night. We talked for 2 hours.
Yeah. Katie was done.
It would have been 3 if Kimberly and I would have kept it going. But Katie was like, and close it down.
Yeah. I could talk about it for hours because then you just go to Reddit. You start talking about it. Like there's always something to talk about.
Same with White Lotus. So after we were done, I went and watched Sunday's episode of White Lotus. And again, I
have not watched this season yet.
What?
Yeah. Is it good?
Oh,
I didn't really enjoy last season that much. So I was sort of waiting.
It's so good. So there's these 3 friends, and one of them is like a famous actress, and the other 2 are just her friends from home. And one's like a business executive, and the other one's like a high society Dallas lady, or maybe Austin, Texas. And they're very different now. And it's interesting, like the 3 of them are together. And then when one leaves, the other 2 talk about the other one,
Yeah.
That's very Housewives. And then Parker Posey, Laurel, Mississippi native. Thank you very much. They're from North Carolina. And Mike White has said that he told them all to watch Southern Charm to get the accent down.
Oh,
and so the guy that plays the dad sounds just like Thomas Ravenel. They're like, Piper, come on now. What are we doing? Yeah, it's great. It was great. I love the accents. I love everything about it.
Is there like a mystery going on or a
Yeah.
murder? Okay.
The very first scene, episode 1, minute 1, there's shooting and you don't know where it's coming from. And then that's our jumping off point to go backwards. Yeah.
Okay, great. I love it.
Yeah. Guns in Thailand. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
How would they have
Oh, they're
gotten
in
there?
Thailand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in Thailand.
Okay. I'm in.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch. I had so much, it was like too much with Yellow Jackets.
I know.
We're doing Amazing Race now.
Oh, really?
And we just finished Traders and it was just like way too much.
I understand that. That's me with Temptation Island and Love is Blind. Like it was a lot.
Yeah.
This week,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just like skating along until the next thing comes.
Yeah.
Which the next thing is going to be The Valley. I'm going to be covering that with Keisha on the $10 Prime feed. That starts April 15th.
Life is hard for a podcaster out here.
It's rough, especially when Bravo refuses to give you screeners.
Yeah. Those people complaining that they work in mines really have it so easy because we have so much TV to watch.
Teachers and nurses, stop complaining. What are you doing for the world?
We are the real heroes, okay?
Firefighters, forget it.
Firefighters, Schmeier fighters.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I heard something about the cleanup there in LA where the fires were. It's going to say, they said something like 900,000 truckloads to get the debris out of there.
Yeah. And I think there's a big problem with the toxic things from like, I don't know, from batteries or from, I don't know. There's like toxic waste. And of
course, yeah.
They were just going to use that soil to like rebuild their house. But people don't want toxic soil at their house, obviously. So that is like a whole other issue. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You just think about one person and the problem they have building their one house, and then you multiply that by how many, 30,000 houses or something crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, keep donating.
My aunt knows 12 people that lost their homes.
Can you imagine? I've never known one person whose house burned down.
I know.
Ever. And can you imagine knowing 12 people? Well, I will tell you, and this is literally not an ad, but I know you guys work with Thrive Cosmetics as well.
Yeah.
And they give back. And do you know that they had that one day where they gave 100% of their proceeds to the LA fires and they raised $500,000 in one day? Shut
up. That's amazing. That is so cool.
Yeah.
We got to say that in our next ad.
Well, that's what I was doing an ad, and they want to tell you that Thrive Cosmetic gives back. So I just went to their website, just like they didn't tell me any of this. I just went and looked for myself, like what do they give to, and that that particular one really stuck out, that they deemed one day as a day that 100% of their profits the entire day went, and it was $500,000 to the LA fire relief. It's pretty good.
That's amazing. And they also give to like women in shelters and things like that, cancer research. They're really good company.
I'm using my Thrive mascara as we speak.
I'm using my Thrive lip gloss.
Oh, you sure are. Guys, literally not an ad. Sorry.
Not an ad.
Not an ad. It just is a good company. And so is Lipsies, because now we love it.
And you have a connection. I really think they should sponsor you because someone who knows the creator. So
yeah, it's a bunkie. So yeah. Anyway, again, don't ever want to think I'm trying to steal Deanna Chang's thunder, because she did find it first. And I got the glass ones too. So if you have something in your house that you're drinking, I have a glass one, and it looks like a little flute. It's just a glass that goes it's like a straw that goes like in a shape like this, and it's got like a flute thing. So it's the same idea as this.
Wait, it goes on a glass? No, it goes on the straw.
The straw is glass. It is a straw that is glass.
The straw is glass. I understand.
The straw is glass. It's a regular size straw instead of like a plastic or a paper straw. It's a glass straw, but it goes up and across, and then the hole is this way. So you're not
like a flute. I
doing
see.
that.
Okay. I never use glass straws because I don't like the sound if like my teeth hits it.
I've never had a glass straw, so and haven't had a chance to have a beverage with it, but it's in my kitchen. I'll be ready because I don't do anything without a straw. The only thing I do without a straw is coffee, because I drink hot coffee. But Maybe the glass
But
straw will
then
solve that.
staining your teeth, that's
I
the issue.
know. I know.
But your teeth are always white, so
No,
whatever you're
they're
doing
not.
is working.
No, they're not. I just use regular toothpaste and they're not always white. So
I
don't get
haven't
too
brushed my
close.
teeth today. Don't get too close either because I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
Woo! You know, I brush my teeth like 10 times a day. Like I can't stand to eat anything and then not brush my teeth immediately.
That's amazing. Wow.
Okay.
That might
Ew,
be too much, actually. That might be overkill,
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's bad.
but I'm still impressed because that's a lot more than I want.
I
Brush my
just can't stand feel. I can't stand that feeling of having stuff in my teeth. I can't.
Yeah, I
Every
understand.
night I'm just really
I
flossing.
flossed a lot. I use floss picks all the time.
So does my husband.
I
You know,
love
on Love is
floss picks.
Blind, Joey was walking around one time. It wasn't Joey. It was the guy that was the dentist, I think. Somebody was walking around like always with the floss pick in their teeth. Like other people are like, and then she told me she loved me. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And the guy's like,
Gotta get that broccoli out of my teeth.
Yeah. He's like, oh, really, man? That's deep. Dig, 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 dig into his teeth.
I love it.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
hilarious.
I never go on and really read my Spotify comments just because it doesn't like pop up to tell me to do that. So
Yeah.
I got a note, oh, you have a new comment on Spotify. I was like, huh. So I went and looked at all these comments on Spotify. So if you've ever commented over there, I'm not replying. It doesn't alert me. So I need to go
Yeah.
in and fix that. But I went in and replied to a lot of people today. And one of them
Oh.
was, I love that you guys are just trying to tell yourself that Love is Blind is so good. It's actually terrible.
That's what half the show is like mental manipulation, cognitive dissonance. But sometimes
Yeah.
we're trying to convince ourselves these people are terrible because it makes for
Mhm.
better TV and they're actually
Yeah.
not that terrible. And then
Yet.
sometimes it's the opposite. And sometimes we have to convince ourselves that a storyline is real and it's clearly fake. So you
Yeah.
guys, we're messing with our brains for you.
Ooh. Y'all, we've all had embarrassing BO moments. Look, I'm from Mississippi where it's 150 degrees and humid in the summer, and BO should have been my middle name growing up, okay? And now, as a lady of a certain age with a bountiful bosom, my main issue has always been that under boob sweat. But luckily, I have Lumi, which is powered by mandelic acid to control odor in a new way. Lumi delivers outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from your pits to your feet to your underboob and even your privates. You know, Lumi was invented by a female OBGYN. Lumi has now earned over 300,000 five-star reviews from people like me who love to feel confident from head to toe. And you guys, they have a new scent that you're going to love. It's called Vanilla Bliss. I love anything vanilla, and I love this so much. And it's apparently already on its way to being one of their most popular scents, even though it just came out. So do you want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant right now? You can find it at Walmart, Target, or other retailers. But to get the best deals, you should go to LumiDeodorant.com. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes. You guys, the deodorant wipes are great. Leave them in your car, throw them in your purse. They're great. And it comes with free shipping. As a special offer for my listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack, y'all. You have to do it. So insert code Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. Okay. Use code Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's LumiDeodorant.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you, okay? Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lumi. Ooh, I sent you something today, but now I can't remember what it was. I sent you something on Instagram. There was a big it was a big expose of the 3 dum-dums, the Amini, Amani, Annie, Ani, and
Oh,
Matt.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I sent it to you. It was like
You
this
texted
big.
it to me?
Yeah, it was a former nanny of Amini,
Sorry, guys, I
Amani.
have a dog here.
I know, I see that doggy.
She was just dying to get up here, so I had
Okay,
to move
that's
the whole
fine.
table so she could get up here.
That's fine. it was about when this person was a nanny for Minnie and Matt, and like
No.
literally the children should be taken away from them. They're terrible people. They're terrible parents. Like bad. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was really bad. It was a really bad post. So of
Because
course what
they
I
only
just
want to be like influencers or what? Like
yeah, they're
OnlyFans?
like it. They're
What are
like
they
it's
trying to
hilarious. It's hilarious. They're trying to be influencers, trying to be on TV. They're absolutely the worst people in the world. She's very mean to her husband. He's just along for the ride. He's happy to
I
be with
knew
a
it.
hot girl. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
I knew it. She is the alpha for 1000%.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
And I
just
don't
say,
think he's that into any of this. And he
uh-uh.
gives me very weird vibes, like he might snap one day.
Yes.
He smiles just all the time, and it's
Mhm.
very strange.
Yeah.
Um, Almost like Lauren of 90, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, 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 yeah. It's like we just covered Friday night's Love After Lockup Crime Story, which was Amber and then also Cameron. But Amber, her mom was on there, and her mom is just like smiling, saying the weirdest things. Like, I know I was a terrible mother.
oh god, yeah, it's
Remember
like
when we used to smoke meth together? That was fun.
oh
I
my
just thought if
god.
she smokes meth at home with me, then she's not in the streets. The kid's 13. Yeah.
S- It's such
Yeah.
a strange coping mechanism that people do when
Yeah.
they're socially awkward. It's
They
so
just smile.
strange.
Like, one
It
day
makes
I was
for
at a bar and I
weird
looked over
TV.
and there was Amber. She's she was 12. It's
At
crazy.
the same bar as me. Isn't that funny?
She's 12. Wild.
We can't, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that show's over now, and I'm glad. As every week was just more sad stories. More
I
sad
saw
stories.
one of them and I was like, it like literally it was the worst thing I ever heard. Like she was
Every week. Terrible.
her uncle lived with them, or he was like not a step uncle, and then like
Mhm.
horrible stuff happened and
Yeah.
she got
Destiny.
pregnant.
Mhm.
Oh my god. I was
Yeah. There were a lot of shows where the girls were abused starting around age 13, 14. That seemed to be the age. And then a
yeah,
lot of the stories, the similarity was I started stealing or doing this because literal hunger, like literally I was
yeah,
hungry and needed money to buy food for myself and my siblings. Or like my mom was
yeah,
never around. She worked 3 jobs and my mom did the best she could, but she was never there because she worked 3 jobs. So I would go on the street and sell drugs to get money to feed my siblings. Like really
yeah,
sad. And there was
yeah.
a through line, a through line.
And they keep a lot of that out of just the normal show because I think they want us to just focus on
The
the
crazy.
insanity
Yeah.
and the bad teeth, but
Hmm.
it's really
Hmm.
sad. Yeah.
There's some real bad teeth on White Lotus. Get ready.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, is it this girl? I think I saw something on Instagram. Like people were talking about some girl's teeth.
Yeah, but I mean, she's a well-known actress, and this is just part of her look. But she's a really
Yeah.
good actress.
But people are like, she should have veneers. And then other people are like, she should not want to look like everyone else. She should
Yeah,
celebrate her, uniqueness.
yeah, yes, and she does look very, very different. It's like you see these models sometimes, and you're like, "Whoa, that person's a model," but then you're like, "It's because they look so different."
Totally. Yeah.
She looks very different. I personally think she doesn't need veneers or anything like that. I think just a little correction on the overbite, uh,
Oh, okay.
maybe because she's like a super big overbite. But no, she's
Yeah.
she's she's a good actress and she's a known actress. So not to me, but she's good.
Okay.
She's
I'm
good. Yeah.
excited.
But I'm just warning you because if you're not warned, you're like, whoa,
Thank you. I'm not
wow.
as bothered by teeth as you, but I am bothered on behalf of you sometimes now.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I want you to watch episode 1 and then you just let me know. Let me
okay.
know how shocked you were with this girl's teeth.
Okay. I'm
It's
ready.
shocking. Even a character in the show comments on the teeth. I mean, you can't not see the teeth. The
Wow.
big, giant, spread apart buck teeth
Okay.
that she
Wow.
never closes her lips around. So I mean, but again, great actress, got cast on this show. Good for her.
Okay.
She'll win an Emmy and I won't. How about that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Um 90 Day Fiance, season 11, episode 5. Love is not enough. Okay? It's not enough. I don't know
It's not
what this
enough,
is.
folks.
I don't know what this is referring to, but let's start with Shekinah and Sarper. Still didn't get enough information about the house cow, but it's an LA thing, and I'm going to need to know anybody that's ever done this because it's real weird.
Well,
Real weird.
They're doing this new thing on Pillow Talk this season. Have you been watching?
No time.
They're having these fake connections to someone on the show so that the people on the show will call the people on Pillow Talk will call the people on the show. So last week, Kenny and Armando were like, "Hey, I wonder if we can find Martini Pat." And so they like pretend to go on Instagram, and then the next commercial break, they are video calling with Martini Pat. And she's telling them like what she really thinks of Mina and Mark, which was not flattering. And then she goes, "Oh, I probably shouldn't say that." And they're like trying to get her to gossip. And on this episode, Kim and Jamal go, "Hey, I'm going to text Shekinah and get this lady's address or this lady's number with the house cow." Okay. And then next commercial break, they're talking to the lady with the house cow, and she's showing them both of her cows. And then she shows them her outdoor area where she has a tennis court and a pool where the cows wander because the cow goes in the pool. And then there's a tennis house type guest house that is where the goats live. And because she has all these animals, and I don't know who cleans up the poop and stuff.
So is this Lisa Vanderpump? Like I don't know what's happening.
Crazy, and we don't know how she gets her money. And then Jamal was like, "Is she single? Because I want to live with her." And then and he offers to guest sit. He's like, "If you ever need a guest sitter, I can see myself in that pool." And but
I don't want to swim in a pool with a cow.
I know.
I just don't.
Oh, I would like try to ride the cow around.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. I'm so happy with a cow. I love a cow. And then all the people on the show start eating meat after. All the people on Pillow Talk were like, "I'm starving. Let's get sliders." And that's where my cognitive dissonance does not work, which is why I'm a vegetarian. But anyway, this new thing where they're creating these like, "Hey, I'm going to text so-and-so and get the number for so-and-so." And then the cow lady was like, "I'm so glad we could finally connect. I'm so glad I finally got to talk to you." And I was like, "That you were just at the commercial break before." She's just like, "Do you watch the show? Are you a fan of Kim and Jamal? Like, why are you acting like you just didn't get the number from Shekinah?"
Right.
And so I'm wondering if they're going to do it every episode.
I hope not.
And they'll have like a breakout star. Martini Pat and the cow lady were breakout stars for sure. But
okay.
I just don't know. They need this like fake setup of like, I'm going to find them on Instagram and then get their phone number in the next 3 minutes before.
How about just watch the show and comment like you're supposed to do?
Yeah. No, they're trying to reach out and talk to the people.
See, that's like this year on Last Resort. They have Between the Sheets where the people on the show are talking about stuff that happened on the show. But they constantly are doing, let's do games, let's do Fear Factor, and I'm like, if you don't have enough to fill it, maybe this should just be a 30-minute show. We don't need all that other stuff, you know?
Right. Well, they used to do that 90 Day with Sean, and it was on Discovery Plus only. It was never on TLC. Yeah. And they did games and stuff like that too.
That's where we found out that Pedro was a virgin when he married Chantel.
What?
We found that out on that show. We did. Wow. And now he's dating Sophie.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's dating Sophie. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that, but I don't think he's going to treat her well.
Maybe he will. He was nice to Chantel in the beginning. So, I don't know.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah. Everything's great in the beginning, guys.
Yeah.
Their real life smacks you in the face. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, she maybe she grew up with a lot of chaos in her own life, and now she is with a guy whose family is crazy and will bring more chaos.
She speaks Spanish though, so that's good.
That's true.
And again, so did Chantel.
Yeah.
You will not insult me today, bitch ass, slut ass whore. Good night. Never forget. Okay, Shekinah and Zarper, back to them. We got sidetracked with the house cow. So they're headed to the United States. She says she usually gets stopped like at TSA or global entry because her new face doesn't look like her passport. um, he
That's
says
weird. Don't brag about that.
she thinks it's funny. So he
Get a new
says,
passport photos.
yeah, that's it's not hard. Maybe it is. He says going to the United States is like going to an away match where all the rules are set by Shekinah. And he says when his routine is messed up, he's messed up. We get it. You have OCD. My God, we've gotten it. You've pounded it into us. We're not even sure that's true. So 13 hours later, they're in Los Angeles. And they do not seem to be in first class. As a matter of fact, they're not, because I looked it up. They're in economy on Turkish Airways.
Economy.
I looked up what those seats were. I looked up Turkish Airways. That's what the seats are. They were in 3 across. Shekinah was in the middle. He was on the window. So God forbid whoever was in the aisle.
They really do try to exude like luxury and richness, and it's a sham, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I understand if she goes so much that she's like not going to pay for it every time. But if they're coming to America, it seems like this is a special occasion. We'll spring for it.
Totally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're filming yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have an image to maintain?
Mm-hmm. So they have so much luggage. So that first class ticket also would have helped them get some of that luggage through for a lesser price. He says, the flight was torture. I realized she came to Turkey 7 times. So that makes it 14 flights. I would never do that for her. She's like, thanks, babe. And they make out in the airport. I'm talking like full tongue down with like a circular camera going around them.
Because I didn't realize that Turkey was that conservative that you don't really make out in public or kiss in public.
I mean, I think it is a Muslim country, so I think that just respectfully, you don't.
Yeah, but like whenever
we've
seen couples that meet there, they act normally, I feel like, and they don't cover themselves or anything like that. You know,
I would have to go back and really think about if we've seen people like making out in public or holding hands or anything too much in public.
Right.
Yeah. So he's like, never done this before. A public kiss virgin. She's like, we found one thing you haven't done. That's great, babe. So in the talking head, she goes, no, I don't think 90 days is enough time. It's enough time for him to decide if he wants to live here, but I worry it's not enough time for him to like meet all my friends, meet my family, get married, hang around my daughter. And, my apartment is small. It's smaller than his. And I work out of my apartment. And he's so used to being in control. I feel like this is going to be rough. In the car, as they're going to pick up the dogs, he's asking, do people in the States do like we do? Like they kiss? Because, every time we see his parents, like so much kissing all over the kissing.
Mouth kissing. Yeah.
Kissing.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you do not kiss people when you meet them. No. So they go to pick up her dogs, Adonis and Teddy.
But she even said, don't hug. She's like, and he goes, hug even your close friends. And she's like, no, shake their hand. And it's like, she just doesn't want him hugging women. That's right. What that is.
Because sometimes you do hug your friends when you see them.
I think it would be totally normal for him to hug her close friends when he's meeting them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they go to pick up the dogs at her friend Renee's house. So Renee is in this big mansion, so they have to go into a gate or whatever. He goes, I can't believe this mansion. I dance at some mansions like this in Turkey. And she goes, okay, quit talking about that. He goes, this mansion, walking into this mansion make me feel like a celebrity. Her name is Janae, not Renee, sorry. So we see Janae's house. Okay, now we go into this, what I don't know if it's a mansion or not, but it does have a gate and it does look big. But literally it is covered in like fake ivy and home signs and word art everywhere.
Yeah, that was a big sign that said home sweet home by the door. I was like, Jessica?
I mean, it was shocking. Yeah, it was shocking that this house seemed to be so opulent and then had so much word art. So
maybe they didn't just move in. They got it staged for the cameras, and they hired a really bad interior decorator.
A 3-stager.
Right.
Who just pulled shit out of their own house.
Right.
So now they're like, oh, okay, here are the dogs, whatever, and here's Adonis, and he's all excited about Adonis. Oh, you should meet Ribeye. You should meet Ribeye. So Ribeye is a little cow. She has two cows named Ribeye and Brisket. What
That
the
is
fuck?
offensive
That
and
why would you give
gross.
that's gross. Why would you name them that?
I'm glad you think that's gross because I was thinking I'm probably being oversensitive, but
No.
that's nasty to me. That's gross. I don't like driving by like chicken places and there's like a happy chicken who's like on the
Right.
a cartoon chicken who's like eat me. Like I hate that. That's so gross to me. And
Yeah,
then
I
these are
yeah.
your pets and then they I don't know, it's really
These
weird.
are your pets. They should have pet names like Violet and Ginger or, you
Sure.
know, Peaches and Snuggles. I don't know, but
Yeah.
not they're
Yeah.
not Brisket and
Emily
Ribeye.
also was offended on Pillow Talk. She's like, name it like Tucker or something. I think
Yeah,
it's
cute.
Tucker. Yeah.
I agree. So Sarper's like, wow, everything is possible in America. House cow. Wow.
Okay. To be fair, neither of us knew that that was possible, and we live here. So
She's saying it's an LA thing. The people in LA have this.
I had no idea. That was not my circle. I live in
No,
an apartment in LA.
no.
Um, I mean, I've seen chickens. Chickens have
Yeah,
been
sure.
very popular for the
Yeah.
past however many years, but I've not seen cat. I've seen giant turtles and I think goats, but never
House
seen a
cow.
cow. Never seen a house cow.
And are these like mini cows or is these cows going to grow to full size?
She said they're mini cows. Yeah. On
Okay.
Pillow Talk, she said they're
Good.
mini cows. Yeah. And
Okay.
the goats were mini goats, pygmy
Okay.
goats or whatever, like the
Hmm.
kind that are little.
And she just lets them run around the tennis court.
Yeah. And jump in the pool. Yeah.
Is there any hay or is there any soft footing for the goats and
Uh
cows?
yes, there were like areas with that. Like that was like a mini barn made out of a shed from Home Depot or like a guest
Hmm.
house,
Hmm.
whatever. But then the
Hmm.
tennis court seemed to be just normal
Mm.
tennis court.
Watch the poop when you're getting that backhand, I
Totally.
guess. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
I wonder what
okay.
her neighbors think. Like, is
Oh
there a
God.
smell? I just wonder, is she shoveling the poop or does she
Well,
have
yeah,
someone come and do that, you know?
right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot to owning a house cow, I assume. Y'all, we've all had embarrassing BO moments. Look, I'm from Mississippi where it's 150 degrees and humid in the summer, and BO should have been my middle name growing up, okay? And now, as a lady of a certain age with a bountiful bosom, my main issue has always been that under boob sweat. But luckily, I have Lumi, which is powered by mandelic acid to control odor in a new way. Lumi delivers outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from your pits to your feet, to your underboob, and even your privates. You know, Lumi was invented by a female OBGYN. Lumi has now earned over 300,000 five-star reviews from people like me who love to feel confident from head to toe. And you guys, they have a new scent that you're going to love. It's called Vanilla Bliss. I love anything vanilla, and I love this so much. And it's apparently already on its way to being one of their most popular scents, even though it just came out. So, do you want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant right now? You can find it at Walmart, Target, or other retailers. But to get the best deals, you should go to LumiDeodorant.com. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes. You guys, the deodorant wipes are great. Leave them in your car, throw them in your purse. They're great. And it comes with free shipping. As a special offer for my listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack, y'all. You have to do it. So insert code pink shade for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. Okay. Use code pink shade for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. That's LumiDeodorant.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you, okay? Pink Shade for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lumi.
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
So they're driving. It's nighttime, but he's looking and he's like, oh, it seems fine. You know, I like your neighborhood. We go into her apartment. So it seems like it's like an apartment, but it's
this was in NoHo, which is like upcoming. I used to live in NoHo when it was trash, like gross and like very run down and like not safe. And they have made it into like an arts district, and they've tried to like renovate it. It's still kind of dirty though.
Well,
and parking sucks.
It seems like it's a maybe the bedroom and stuff is upstairs. I cannot imagine that her apartment is this one little couch, this kitchen with all her equipment, and then like a bedroom in the back, and that's it. Because there were stairs.
There were stairs, yeah,
inside the apartment. So
yeah, it's a 2-floor thing.
Yeah, and so she has everything set up in her kitchen, which I understand because she needs access to a sink for her job. But it's bizarre. And she says, you know, when my clients come, he's going to have to leave. And then she tells him they don't really use the kitchen because it'd make the workspace smell. And he goes, but we could just come down and make breakfast. She goes, no, babe. And he's like, so, but you don't cook anything. She goes, yeah, no. And also when I have clients, you're going to have to leave. And the talking head, he's like, I didn't know anything about this. Like, what? Like, I just can't stay in the bedroom? Like,
how big is her takeout bill and her food delivery bill? But then even if you eat takeout, it still smells.
It still smells. You have to heat it in the microwave sometimes.
But she just eats that butter, like those butter sticks. So that doesn't smell, I guess. And maybe
she
like
just
jerky.
Only eats raw vegan food that has to be in the fridge. And that's
I think they eat a lot of meat. Like it's all like high fat,
paleo, or
yeah. That's really weird. Also, when you walk in and you just see one of those tables, it reminded me of like a torture chamber on SVU or something. Like you walk in and someone has like a torture chamber. It's like a dentist's office in someone's living room.
Yeah.
Also, I understand that she says like my clients are female and I don't want them to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But there has to be a solution where he can stay upstairs, like put a partition up or something, or make him wear headphones. I don't know. Like he shouldn't have to leave. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, so, but if she has literally like 8 hours a day of clients in there, at some point he might want to leave. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. Then he won't be able to walk past the clients. It'll be like, I have there's 5 minutes between my next client. Like you can leave now. Like
there has to be a way to partition it off. Yeah.
He's not able to work or do anything or drive. He's going to have to like walk to Starbucks and sit there for hours every day.
I'm going to, the next time it's time your turn to talk, I'm going to look up her esthetician business and figure out what's doing.
Yeah. Like how many clients does she have? I'm so surprised because we had been told she has this big business.
Yeah.
And it did look like official, but it's in her living room. So it didn't look that official.
Right.
But like she had a lot of products there and a lot of like those light things, laser things, like a lot of the equipment. How many clients does she have like regularly? And she has no one else working for her. It's only her in her house.
She had a whole display case of like potions and serums and things she was selling, like being at a spa, except for it's in your kitchen. It's crazy.
Wow, I'm just blown away by this whole thing and that we never knew this.
I am too. This is why this show just always keeps us on our toes, you know?
Yeah, and she keeps trying to make it sound like it's so normal. She's like, it's a work-live space.
Well, then like, you would have like an office space, you know?
Yeah, that's normal if you like work on your computer. Like,
yeah.
Like I have an office work-live space, but not when you're like lasering off people's lips. I know that's not what they do.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to Jessica and Juan,
And Megan.
and Megan. And
They are the
Megan.
new throuple.
Yeah.
At least Megan thinks so.
Yeah, she
So
does. She does.
they're at this bar, and Juan admits that he made a mistake with the girl on the cruise because he was lonely, and he's just human, guys. And then this other friend chimes in, how many times are you going to be human? And I was like, shut up, not Megan. Like, this is not your place.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, like, I'm here now, so it's different. You know, and so and then the non-Megan is like, oh, so you're only going to be faithful when you're being babysat and when you're like living with her.
Yeah.
And Megan is just silently stewing because she hasn't said a word. And then she's like silently crying. And she flips out and she goes, it's taken a year for you to admit this to me when I asked you about this in Colombia a year ago. Like fully like a woman scorned. And Juan,
makes no
crazy.
sense.
And then Juan just goes, my bad. My bad, bro. Sorry.
But I think he's sort of like, I've worked it out with Jessica. Why do you care? Like,
why
yes,
do you care?
yes, I'm explaining it to you, but
he's not going to give in to this histrionics of this woman that is not in their relationship. And so he's just like, my bad. She's just crying. And Juan is telling us like, she's not my fiance, right? Just checking. I'm not engaged to her, right? And she's like asking about everything. Does she want to go through my phone? Like, what's with this girl? Like, I think she's going to spy on them or like hide in the bushes. Megan is over the top here.
She's waiting for him to mess up. Maybe she's in love with Jessica.
I got vibes like that. And Jessica is just sitting there doing this smirk, like she's kind of enjoying this.
Yeah.
And like I get kind of enjoying watching him squirm, even though he's not squirming at all. He's just like, yeah, I did it. Like,
I feel like she's enjoying Juan slamming down Megan.
I think she's enjoying Juan's. I think there's a lot of, she's mad at Megan. Like she's enjoying watching Megan cry and Juan's like not giving it to her. I swear she's like enjoying something about this, which is very weird dynamics. And so finally she just goes, okay, so I should say, you know, I knew about this and I knew about this for a year and a half and we decided to work through this together. And Megan goes, you're my best friend, Jess. I love you more than anything in life. Literally.
Wow.
And Jessica is like acting like Megan's crazy drunk and she's like pacifying her and she goes, I know, I love you more than anything and that's why I protected you. Like talking to her like she's a baby. Yeah. And Jessica tells us, Juan admitted it to me. He cried and he begged me to forgive him. And I did because we were long distance and we were struggling at that time. So Jessica says, you know, Megan, I wasn't at my best either at that time. And Megan goes, but you never crossed that line like he did. And then like Jessica pauses. We're like, did she? And then Jessica says to us, we were both struggling in the relationship at that time. And I caught feelings for my ex, but I never acted on it. But it was a very weird time in our relationship. And
Juan's like, excuse me?
Well, that hasn't happened yet. Jessica goes, Megan, Juan and I talked about this and he knows we were both struggling with the distance of the relationship. And he even asked me about that guy. She says that guy. Because I think she's trying to say to Megan, like, don't tell her it was the ex. It's the guy. It's that guy, that random guy. That guy from Starbucks that I've never talked to since. And Megan says, but he was your ex-boyfriend. Which is like, I think she's saying it's not as bad. It's worse to sleep with a random girl on a cruise than to have feelings for your ex because you've already been there and that's natural to like develop feelings for your ex. I think she's saying.
I think that's what she's saying, but I don't know which one's worse actually.
I know, exactly. Yeah. So Juan goes, what? His head is like, what? And Megan smiles because now she has ruined a secret. It's like real weird, toxic stuff going on. They're like all playing mind games. And
it's a small town, Kimberly.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing else to do. There's not even, there's that one movie theater that plays the Grinch. So what are you going to do? So Jessica says, I told you, Juan, like I told you that it was the ex and you knew I was talking to a guy. Remember, you knew. And Juan says, I didn't know it was your ex. And that changes everything. And now he's mad. So on the ride home, he says, it's not fair. You guys always make me out to be the bad guy. And she's like, you were the bad guy. You cheated. And I didn't cheat. And he says, you cheated emotionally. And then he's like pouting and making himself the victim. And he says, maybe I'll go back to Colombia and talk to my ex and I won't tell you about it. And she says, I was faithful and you were acting very distant but I didn't act on anything. And he's like, when did the guy come over? And she says, at night. And he says, were the kids around? And she says, no. And he says, oh, so I can invite my ex over at night when I'm alone just to watch TV and that's fine with you? And like, I can't tell if he's really upset or if he's just acting upset so he's not the bad guy anymore. And now he has something to hold over her.
Totally.
And Jessica says, he's kind of being a hypocrite because I forgave him very easily. And he is now acting like this is a huge deal. He's trying to level the playing field to make it seem equal, but it's not equal. And she's a therapist, so you can't play. She's the therapist, right? So
she's a therapist,
yeah, you can't play these games with her because she can see right through it. So he says, you can't imagine how I feel being here in this country alone and then finding out that you've been keeping secrets from me. And she says, I want you to know that I love you. And he says, well, thanks for loving me, but it still feels the same. Like he's totally pouting. Also, Joan pulled that with what's his face last week when he was like, I love you, Joan. And she's like, well, thanks for that. But why did you turn down the government job?
Right. That's great. But that's not what we're talking about here. Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying it. I really want to see more of Megan because she's absolutely a train wreck. And
yeah. She's very involved in their relationship. Here's what I found out. Shekinah Garner, she has 97.9 thousand followers on Instagram. But
it doesn't seem like that many for being on 90 Day, like 3 seasons.
98,000 people is a lot of people.
Well, it's way more than we have, but it's not that for someone who's been on 3 seasons. I feel like it should be in the 6 figures.
Her Aesthetics by Shekinah, which is her business one, it has 124,000 people. That's her business one. And it's like, click here to book.
Okay.
So let's just compare. Let's do Kimberly. Oh, Kimberly has 304,000 people.
That's what I'm saying.
It does seem low now that I didn't realize that. Let's see how many Vanya has. Let's see. Tata has 12,000.
That's so sad.
Tata. Let's see. Maddie only has 904, but he's just getting started. Ooh, Sarper has 105, so he's got more than her.
But not by a lot. How many does like Jamal have?
Let's look at Lauren and Alexi has 1.4 million.
That's what and David and Annie I know have way more.
Oh, totally. Let's see. Jessica and Juan has 23,000. Vanya has 68,000.
And Vanya was only on 1 season.
That's right.
This is her 3rd season.
Let's see. Armando has 456,000.
Okay. Pillow Talk gets you a lot.
Jovi has 447,000. Emily has 300,000.
Jovi has over 400,000. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at anybody else here that we would know. Okay, Juan David has 14,000.
Yeah, they're new on the show.
Well, of course, Darcy and Stacy, a lot. That's interesting. Okay, because in my mind, I was like, oh, that's a lot. And you're like, no, it's not. Okay, let me put that on pause and quit looking at that. Okay.
Okay, you guys, everyone wants to know, are you DTF? Down to farm, that is. That's right. Farmer Wants a Wife is back on Fox with 4 hot new farmers looking for the love of their lives. But are these ladies ready to take on farm life? And you know dating one woman has its challenges, but juggling 5? These farmers are gonna have their hands full. Don't miss the all-new season of Farmer Wants a Wife Thursday on Fox.
Okay, let's go on to Stevie and Maddie, speaking of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I have an interview set up with Stevie.
Oh, yay.
It's coming up. I believe it's going to be, let's look at the old calendar. I believe it's the first week of April that we have it. I wanted to make sure we had a little more, information going on, more, what's the word I'm looking for? More, what's the word I'm looking for? More content that I want to be sure to ask her about. I believe it's, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's next week. I should probably figure that out. Yeah, it's not on my calendar. But anyway, I've got it. I'm excited about that. She does work until 6 p.m., they said. So I don't know if she has a regular job now or if that means it's her online teaching job.
Right.
I'll find out. Okay.
Yeah.
Stevie and Maddie. So it's okay. My phone is now listening to me and like writing down what I'm saying. Okay, stop. Okay, Stevie and Maddie, 88 Days to Wed. They are headed to see her family. They're in Hattiesburg. And the talking head, she's like, I hope this goes well, even though I did wait till the last minute to tell my dad. Sorry. Yeah. He's like, yeah. So they arrive, and the production is trying very hard to make this look ominous. They're like, ooh, it's dark, and there's a fire, and who are these people?
Like
it's just a fire pit
clan meeting that he's walking up to.
It's like they just have a fire pit for s'mores or whatever. So her dad, Perry, is got the fire pit going, and Stevie walks up and goes, hey, he's nervous. And they all like, oh, he should be. And she's like, stop, y'all are gonna make it worse. Stop. So the talking head, he says, yeah, we drive up and her family members are in a huddle around the fire with murder weapons like saws and axes. And he says, I've seen it in movies. So they meet Maddie. We meet her brother, Andrew, and we meet Wendy, which is Perry's girlfriend. And they all sit around to chat. There's a black cat, and she's like, oh, don't mind the cat. And of course, he's like, street cats, And Maddie's like, is that your cat? And they go, yeah, that's our cat. And the talking head, she goes, I think that the black cat is interesting because it's bad luck if it crosses your path. And he says, oh, they have a similar thing. Like if your team loses, it's like something about a black cat or something similar. Has to do with soccer, I think. Now back to the fire. Anthony is like, how do you like it here? And he says, oh, everything is different. The cars are different. The people are different. Everything, where I live, it's very isolated, the country. And Dad says, there's a lot of tension between the countries, right? And Maddie says, yeah, on TV, we just see a lot of chanting like death to America and stuff like that on the news. And Dad goes, you ever do any of that chanting? And they all kind of laugh. He says no, and they all kind of laugh. So they talk about, the different ways that women are treated in his country, from the way that they dress. And he says, oh yeah, like if you want to travel, you have to get permission from your husband, like property. Mm-hmm. And Dad says, well, that's my big concern, is that the way women are treated in your country and the way you were raised. That's my concern. And the talking head, Maddie, goes, when he brings this up, I'm thinking, here we go. And it's bad that the interview is starting this way, the interview.
Yeah.
So they talk, and Maddie says, I grew up in a family that respected all the laws of the culture. But as I got older, I realized it didn't make any sense because women are not property. And Dad says, well, that's good. That's good. So anybody hungry? Yeah, let's go eat. So she's like, are you okay? And he says, yeah. He says he's very nervous, but he's hoping. He feels like Perry likes him. That's what he's hoping. And they're walking in the house, and the cat runs in. He's like, oh, and he's like, well, that cat's is crazy. She's going to come in the house. And he's like, oh God, the cat's going to be too much.
How is that cat alive? Like going outside in the dark? Like, aren't there like coyotes and like things out there? I know some people do let their cats or have outdoor cats at night, but it
Yes.
makes me nervous.
There's outdoor cats in this neighborhood. We call them sewer cats because the minute you come upon one, if you're walking for exercise, you have to,
They run in the sewer.
Sewers. Yeah. We're like,
Oh,
sewer cat, what are they feeding you? And then I have a note here that he says, this is like America, America. I think that's what he's trying to say. Like, this is like America, America, like really, really American.
Like, the house specifically, like from the outside and like the screen door kind of thing, you know, it just felt very like American.
The red checkered tablecloth.
Yeah.
So they're showing them all the food. It's a big spread. So it's got turkey. They've got some sort of pork something. They've got mac and cheese. They've got pies. They've got all sorts of a spread of food.
It was a lot of food for that few people.
I wonder if they're just feeding production as well, you know?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Or it's just Southern. You just have a lot of food.
You have a lot of leftovers, yeah. Everybody's going home with Tupperware, whether you want it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Maddie says, no, I'm not allowed to eat pork, you know, because of my family. And they all seem to respect that. They talk about Southern cooking. And she's like, yeah, it's lots of fried food, lots of grease. And she's like, you know, your 6-pack's going to go away. He goes, yeah, I'm getting that. I'm finding that out. You know, what I say to that, Maddie, is that's your own journey. Don't be bullied into eating something you don't want to.
No.
All right. So
you don't need to embrace eating unhealthy just because.
Eat what you want. Yeah.
And eat in moderation. Unhealthy is whatever. It's just a name. It's just a word. There's no moral judgment on food. You can eat. Just
Maddie, it's up to you to maintain your 6-pack. Okay.
Yeah. If you want to. If that's important to you.
Don't blame it on America. So, so Anthony, the brother, says, so you teach English? And he says, right. And he says, well, I think, you know, you speak perfect English. And he says, yeah. He's like, Stevie told me it was going to be hard for me to understand all of you because of your accent. He's like, I can understand you just fine. They all laugh about that.
Well, it was specifically about the dad. Like, and then the dad is like, why were you talking smack about me?
He's like, what you mean? What do you mean you got an accent? Well,
I don't got no accent.
What do you mean? So the dad says, you know, Stevie kept a secret that she was seeing you. And I just found out about you. And now why do you guys get married 90 days? Like, I know y'all spent just a little time together. And so why does it have to be so fast? So they explain how the 90-day visa works. He literally just found out yesterday. He hadn't had time to ask a lot of questions. And dad says, well, how do we know you just don't want to come to America to get married? You know, people do that. And Maddie says, I absolutely understand your concern. And the only way I can prove I'm not that person, the only way who can prove I'm not that kind of person is Stevie. So I don't really quite understand what that means, but I think he means it's going to be up to Stevie to understand that I'm that kind of person. Like, I don't really care what you think, you know?
And like, if she can tell you how I'm treating her and things like that, like she'll tell you we are really in love. And
yeah.
He handled it really well. He was like, I totally get it. I understand why you're asking that question. I would be suspicious too. And I'm, you know, we're going to prove to you that that's not the case.
He's very calm.
Calm.
He's a very calm person.
So calm. Yeah.
And Anthony goes, so y'all love each other? And Maddie says, I've never had a love in my life like this. I've never been in love. I've never loved anyone like Stevie, and I can guarantee that we'll live together and love each other forever. And then he just looks over and they're all like, well, okay.
Good answer.
Good answer. Outside, talking head Perry and the girlfriend, Wendy, say, Dad's like, I'm not sure I'll give my blessing tonight, but as we're going on, I think Maddie's going to have a big adjustment to living here, and his life was shockingly different than ours is here, and they're going to have a lot of pressure on them as a couple. But I think all in all, Dad is handling it very well. He got this information yesterday.
He said he seems very genuine and, you know, seems like a nice guy.
You have to assume he thinks his daughter's got sense in her head to make a right decision, but maybe not. I think that she's been married twice, and maybe he's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Also, where are the children?
I don't know where and I felt like she said she did that online teaching job because she was a stay-at-home mom.
I know she said that in the first episode. We're never going to hear about these children again.
Well, I'm going to ask her when I talk to her, but I may have to go back and watch the first episode where we saw them just to remember what she said.
Yeah, or to go check your notes because...
No, the notes are gone. I don't keep my notes.
Oh, you do?
No, I erase them and start
everything.
over. Yeah, I know you do. I don't keep anything. No, just like it's gone, out of my mind, off my.
Because people
off
are
my
constantly
computer.
like, "What dateline was it when this happened?" And
I know.
I can search in my notes.
Yeah, I know. You're very good about that.
Antifreeze, and then I can find what the episode was.
Antifreeze, and 400 episodes pop up.
Yeah, exactly.
God, people are never going to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go out to have s'mores, and they're trying to make the s'mores, and he's lighting the marshmallows on fire, and she's like, "You got to put it together and have the chocolate's got to melt." And Dad says, "Well, he likes sweets. He's going to get fat here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know." They're real interested in his weight management.
Yeah,
very interested. Stevie goes in and chats with Wendy and thanks her. It's like, "Thank you guys so much for having me over and all this food and everything. And thank you for being so welcoming." It's really helpful because Maddie is homesick. And she tells Wendy about what Maddie said, like, if I ever went back, and then I couldn't come back here, would you be okay with it, kind of a thing? And, too much is being made out of this. He was very jet lagged and I don't think he meant that.
I know. Although next week it looks like the topic is coming up again.
I think she's going to keep bringing it up because they're very happy and they have nothing else to cause any drama.
I agree.
Yeah. In her talking head, she says, "All I can do is show him the life that we can have here. And I hope he can settle in. Like, I hope we get married. I hope everything's fine." And that's what we hope as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's that. That's the end of them.
Yeah. I like him. I really do.
I do too. Please don't break our heart.
I know.
Okay, you guys, everyone wants to know, are you DTF? Down to farm, that is. That's right. Farmer Wants a Wife is back on Fox with 4 hot new farmers looking for the love of their lives. But are these ladies ready to take on farm life? And dating one woman has its challenges, but juggling 5? These farmers are gonna have their hands full. Don't miss the all-new season of Farmer Wants a Wife, Thursday on Fox.
Let's move on to Mark and Mina, who are not in Bald Head Island, but they are, in fact, in Southport.
Lies. So they fly in his private little plane to North Carolina to spend time with his family.
They fly into Cape Fear. Bald Head does not have a private airport, neither does Southport. So they have to fly into Cape Fear and then take a car.
And then they take a car. So they get out of the plane and then they get in the car that's next to the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And little Maria is sitting in her car seat in the plane, just like watching a little iPad. And then Mina's like, "Did you get the baby?" And he's like, "I thought you got the baby." And I was like, were you guys going to drive away and leave Maria in a plane? And then they're like, whoever parks the plane is going to be like, "There's a baby in here." Is the baby going to fly the plane and be like, "I need to go back to Paris. I can't handle it. It's too boring.
I don't want gas station pasta.
Yeah. I don't want it. Let's go back."
People were upset about the car seat, by the way, because the car seat.
Face. Uh-huh.
Okay, the car seat, what it is, it's the clip-on thing that goes on top of the stroller. So you unclip it from the stroller, and in the States that happens a lot, and you can clip it. It's called Snap and Go, and then the car seat. But the car seat is like its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not part of a stroller. But lots of people wrote and said, yes, that is a European car seat because they had that bar directly in front of her. And when you put a baby in a car seat in the car, you flip the bar back because guess what? If there's an accident and that bar is there, the baby's going to hit the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So people were upset about the European car seat, and people were also upset because she just had on the console between the two of them, she had an iPad facing backwards for the baby to watch. And people say also that is a terrible hazard because if there is a car accident, then
it could fly
into the baby. So people are very upset about their parenting, not have anything to do with it. They left the baby in an airplane. There was more to it. Yeah.
That is the more concerning part to me, but
I don't
I'm
know.
not a parent.
However long she's here, they'll have to get her an American style car seat to
Yeah.
comply with laws. But I mean, she's using what she used in Europe, and in her mind, it's fine. You know?
Yeah. God, it's hard being a parent and putting your child online, which is maybe why you shouldn't do it.
Mm,
But
it
also
is.
because a child can't really consent to being on camera.
Mhm.
But yeah, that people will just criticize anything that you do, really.
Hey guys, guess what that leads me into? Kimberly and I are covering the Baldwins. There's seven kids there. So go on to Pink Shade Prime and subscribe and listen to that. That'll be out. If you're listening on Tuesday, it's out on Tuesday.
And it gives you 7 opportunities to criticize
That's
parenting.
right.
Yeah.
8 if you count Ireland, who we're going to get next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if someone is doing something dangerous, like with the yes, criticize. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
If someone's doing something dangerous, go for it.
Yeah, agree. I don't think Mina's doing that on purpose. I think this is her European car seat, and this is not what we do in the States. So she'll need to adjust accordingly.
Yeah. So, she's not looking forward to meeting Jordan. And he says, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have told you what Jordan said. And also, I shouldn't have told Jordan what you said about her. And she's like, what?
Drunk in the hot tub. Yep.
Why did you tell her when I was wine wasted in the jacuzzi what I said about her? And she's like, that was a private conversation. He needs to shut up sometimes. And he's like, did I do that? He's just knows that he keeps messing up. So they go to this cute little hotel that's, I guess, by the water, and she's unimpressed with everything, and she's in a bad mood, and he's trying to make her happy. But she goes, I'm gonna wear an extra sexy dress to piss off Jordan. Like,
okay.
I mean, I kind of thought that was like, if you think I'm a young hoochie gold digger, then I'm going to dress like one, you know, kind of, which is, I think that's kind of funny, but
it's like Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind when he pulls out that red dress and goes, if you're going to, you know, be a floozy, you may as well dress the part. You should wear this. And she does. She looks incredible.
So he says, please just don't be 3 hours late like you were to the baptism because that's what she's really mad about. But she gets ready very fast, 20 minutes. And she doesn't look over the top crazy sexy or anything. Like, she looked fairly normal.
But she's one of those people that's like my husband. It's like, oh, wait, one more thing. Oh, wait, one more thing.
Yeah.
Like you're in the car ready to go. And he's like, he's got to get his water bottle, but then he's got to put his Mio in it. And it's like, well, that's an extra. Oh, wait, I forgot. I wanted those shoes. They're upstairs. And, oh, wait. Oh, I forgot the wrong car. And you're like, oh my God, we're in the car. We're sweating. We're ready to go. Yeah. That's what she's doing. She's adding stuff on it. Yes. She's adding stuff on at the end. Yes.
Yeah. But one of the things is like heating up the baby's bottle in the microwave. And then he's like, it's hot outside. Do you really have to warm it up?
Also, we now know not to do that either. Oh, that's going to be another parenting thing she's going to get in trouble for because you don't do that.
You're not supposed to put it in the microwave because
no.
the plastic leaches.
Yeah. So
I guess
what?
Right.
My kids are screwed. Yes. So that's what I did. But now we know not to do that.
Because I've been heating things up in Tupperware for my whole life.
Me too. Now I'm all glass. I'm all glass now.
Yeah.
Glass.
So I just feel like it's too late. Like,
oh, it is.
It
totally is.
And I really like Tupperware. So
I do too. But now I have all glass Tupperware.
Is it good? I don't feel like it's good to like. I don't want to hold it like after because I like to eat right out of the Tupperware.
Well, you can. You just stick the glass. You take the lid off of it. The lid's plastic. Take the lid off. Stick it in there. Do your whatever. And it's a glass bowl, and there you go.
Isn't the glass hot?
Not really. Get a paper towel. You're fine.
Yeah. Okay. But then a paper towel is like bad for the environment. I don't use too many paper towels.
Never given that up. Never given up a paper towel.
You could use bamboo ones. We had a sponsor called Real, and I ordered their toilet paper. I have the bamboo toilet paper, a subscription. That's
okay. And what's that's better for the environment?
Yeah, because bamboo is like endlessly. You can just chop it. It grows right again. It's easy to harvest. It takes less water. It's like way better. Yeah.
Oh God.
Than trees.
It's just another thing. All right.
I know, but it's a subscription.
Okay. I'll look into it.
Okay. So again, not sponsored. So we're just giving out our tips. So So they go down there, and of course, Jordan and her boyfriend Gabe are waiting, and Jordan is like, of course she's late, because Jordan is in a bad mood already. And so Jordan and Mina do an ice cold hug, like very, like they still have to do the French, but it's ice cold and like shiver. And Jordan is looking at Maria like, wow, she's so cute. She's so big compared to when I met her. And then she goes, I still can't believe you have a baby. I wasn't expecting to have another sibling. And then it gets really awkward.
She doesn't even be like, oh my God, it's my sister. It's so good to see you, Maria. I'm Jordan.
No.
None of that.
No. So, and then he says, I know it's a little awkward and there's some tension. And Jordan says, yeah, I feel really awkward right now. And he says, well, it doesn't have to be that way. And it's never been that way between us. We've always been close. And Jordan says, yeah, we used to be, but now there's these newcomers. And she's talking about Mina right in front of her. Like she's not even there.
It's rude.
So rude.
Very rude.
And then Jordan says, I feel like that's our old family and you have this new family. I get it, Jordan. Like, it's a weird situation, but you've got to get over it. It's done. They have a baby. Like,
I know. She needs to just live her life with this hot boyfriend she's got and just see the dad at the holidays or whatever. He's made his decision. He's a grown man, you know?
Yeah. And so I kind of, I'm turning on Jordan.
Me too. I don't like how she's speaking to me now.
No. And so Mark says, well, I know I do have another daughter now. And Jordan says, yeah, but you don't have to forget about your other kids. And I was like, when did he do that? Like, did he forget your birthday? Or like, you don't even live with him. You're an adult. Has he not called you like on Sundays like he usually does? Like, how has he forgotten about you? That footage not found. I don't know if that ever happened. And she's acting like he's Cody Brown and he's run off with Robin and like their kids, and the other kids are chop liver and are second class citizens in the family. And I don't think that's happened. Like, he still has your bedroom completely set up with your photos on the wall and your brothers.
That's right. He couldn't be bothered.
House.
He couldn't be bothered to take on those like wooden letters that say Jordan on the wall.
No, it still says Jordan on the wall. So Mina finally speaks and she says, I hope you don't think this is my fault. Which
is
but it's, I mean, at least she's like, by saying that, it's very defensive and blaming the dad. But at least she's saying, like, I don't want you to think it's my fault. Like, I care what you think. And I didn't, it's not my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's like it's between you and dad. Like,
it's not the worst thing she could have said. And Jordan says, kind of. I mean, my dad wouldn't have had a baby if he was with someone his own age.
That's dad's fault.
That's dad's fault. That's not Mina's fault. And Mina tells us, you know, like, I tried to come in and play nice, but Jordan is a headache. And like, yes. So Jordan is still whining and she's like, this isn't what I pictured for you after you divorced mom. So there's, I think, some more tension here. And Mark says, well, I didn't plan this. You know, I was traveling to Paris for work all the time. And then I just met Mina. And, you know, I don't think I have to ask permission to have a kid from you.
Right.
And Jordan's boyfriend is like playing with this ball and just staring at the baby, just like, can I be anywhere else? Like, he wants a portal to come and suck him up and take him to anywhere else. He's like, miserable. He has not said one word. And Mina says, yeah, if we want to have a baby, it's my body and my decision, which is true. And Jordan goes, this just isn't what I would have wanted for our family.
Okay. And listen, really? I think Jordan is in a bad position. I've never been in that position. I'm sure I'd be very bitter if my parents got divorced and I was in my 20s and my dad started off with like new babies. You would be like, but I mean, it happens all the time. Like, you look at Kevin Costner, I think he's got 2 or 3 sets of kids. I mean, you know, you've got like, the ones in the 30s, the teenagers and the babies. I mean, you know, like, I think it happens.
I mean, it's a weird situation for sure, but you're really leaning into this bitchy thing and you could have gone about this totally differently. And I'm wondering if the producers are putting this up for her or if this is actually her. And I felt like I was charmed by her last time because she was so pretty. And I was just like, she seems so nice, but she's being bitchy. And I did not expect to be on Team Mina ever on my March bingo cards. That's not what I thought was going to happen.
Agree.
And it's very weird. So
also, I think somebody corrected me once that Kevin Costner has 2 sets of kids. He's like kids in their 30s and the kids that are teenagers, and he doesn't have a separate set of like toddlers. So if somebody comes at me, I'm self-correcting. I'm self-correcting.
Oh,
okay. Go ahead.
So Mina asks Jordan to talk to her alone. And I was like, oh God, Thunderdome.
And so Thunderdome in Southport. Yeah.
Yeah. So she says, she says to us, I think Mark is trying to make peace, but today is not a day for peace. It's a day to tell the truth.
Oh, today's the day we've declared the day of truth. Okay.
Okay. Today is not a day for peace. She's like giving a speech like the president in Independence Day. Like today is not a day for peace. It is the day we fight back and we gain our independence. She's going to go into like Les Mis songs to like a French Revolution.
Yeah. Like she's standing her ground though. And Jordan is being super bitchy. So yeah.
Oh, 100%. I'm totally Team Mina right now. And so she tells Jordan, your dad told me that you were mad in Paris and you didn't tell me that you were mad. And that bothered me. And Jordan says, because we don't talk to each other. We never got to know each other. I didn't feel welcome. And we came all that way to celebrate the baby. And I don't feel like we are this big, happy family now, like you guys are trying to act. And Mina says, this is not my fault. It is your dad's. And Jordan says, oh yeah, I'm blaming both of you. But I do feel like you could have made more of an effort. You were 4 hours late to the baptism and you didn't apologize.
This has gotten worse and worse because I think when we first talked,
I thought it was 2.
And now they said 3.
Now it's 4.
And now they're saying 4. Okay. And by the way, the whole party shouldn't even be 2 hours,
Yeah. And you never apologized. And Mina says, well, for me, that's normal. I had to get my hair and makeup done. And Jordan goes, but we were there celebrating without you.
It's weird. It's weird to be 4 hours late to your own party because of hair and makeup.
It's very rude.
Yeah.
And Mina says, girl, you don't know my life. Like, don't judge me. You don't know. And Jordan says, do you really want more kids? And Mina says, yes, maybe in a couple years. And Jordan says, well, maybe I want kids in a couple years. What, are they going to be the same age? That's so weird. Okay, you sound like a baby, and that is your dad's fault, hun. That is not Mina's fault. Yeah. And so Mina is in her 30s. She can have another child. And Jordan says
he could have gotten a vasectomy if he didn't want to have kids in his 50s, Yeah.
And Jordan says, I made it perfectly clear to him that I would be uncomfortable if you had another baby. No one said you get an opinion in this.
Right, yeah.
Why are you okay? I'm glad you made it clear to him, but like it doesn't matter. And I'm starting to be like, Jordan, I'm starting to hate you. Like, who did you vote for? I have so many questions about Jordan now. Like, I'm really don't understand. I've completely flipped on we only met her for like 20 minutes last time, but I'm still just like, Jordan, what the heck? It's not your decision if this woman has a baby or not.
And I don't know the storyline. Like, is it? Again, is she leaning into it so that at the end of the season, they're all one big happy family, or is she going to act this way the whole time? Is it been storyboarded by the production,
100%, because there already is a baby, like, and you seem to be okay with it. You went to the baptism in Paris, but now that there's a second baby, it's like, oh my God, that's too far. You can't have a second baby. Like, God forbid, this changes everything. And that just seems so made up to me for the show. Like, I kind of think they actually get along and they are faking this for the show because.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. And I also think this is a conversation to have privately with your dad. Dad, I want you to really think about this. If you're going to have another baby, like, of course it's your life, but this is really going to affect you. Like, you're 58 years old. You're never going to get to, you're going to be 68 when the kid's 10. I mean, do you want to be like Alec Baldwin? Like, you got to.
And she did say that to him privately, but then he told Mina about it.
Yeah. And if we have a conversation, it's between us because I'm your child.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, why do we have to explain that to you? You're a grown man, that sometimes conversations are private.
Yeah.
So Jordan says, you knew he was, so Jordan's like, I told him I would not be happy if you had another baby. And Mina says calmly, okay, I have a big problem with that because it's my body.
Yeah.
And
totally.
Jordan says, you knew he was a lot older than you. So it's common sense. If you want to have more babies, you should pick someone younger. He's my dad and he has kids in our 20s. He doesn't need to be having babies right now. Again, but there already is one.
The baby is right there. It is your sister. You need to
it is there.
get on board. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird. She's just like, I don't know why, but the second baby is too far. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So Mina says, do you think I'm here for the green card and the nice house that has old man smell and is literally on a runway? So planes are landing all the time. And Jordan says, yeah, that's my first thought. And the ladies are glaring at each other, but again, it's almost a smirk. And I was like, are they just having fun with this scene because they're supposed to for the show? I was very suspicious.
Yeah. And whenever they're smirking like that, it's like because they're trying to conceal a laugh because they planned it. Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah. And then Nina says, I think you're a snake, which once again, I feel like she's using the word wrong. Or it just really bothers her that she said something behind her back, and to her that makes her a snake because she was saying something behind her back and didn't say it to her face.
I think Jordan is a headache is a better description of Jordan.
Yeah. And she goes, I think you're a snake. And Jordan goes, you think I'm a snake? And she said, yeah, I think now you don't come to my wedding. And Jordan goes, you don't want me to come to my dad's wedding. And she says, okay, fine. And she walks off. And in the previews, I was like, Mina, how could you not? She's the daughter. Of course she has to come to the wedding. And now after watching the episode, I'm like, I wouldn't want her at my wedding either.
I wouldn't want her there either, but also be on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you started this by being 4 hours late. So.
Or 2 hours or 12. We're not sure.
We don't know. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, everyone wants to know, are you DTF? Down to farm, that is. That's right. Farmer Wants a Wife is back on Fox with 4 hot new farmers looking for the love of their lives. But are these ladies ready to take on farm life? And you know dating one woman has its challenges, but juggling 5? These farmers are gonna have their hands full. Don't miss the all-new season of Farmer Wants a Wife Thursday on Fox.
All right, let's move on to Matt and Amani and Ani. I've now written Ani's name, and I went through my document and corrected every time I wrote A-N-Y, I corrected it to A-H-N-E-E, Ani, so that I say it correctly. Yeah. Okay. So I went through Control, Find, Replace, so that I say it right every time.
It's like those skits where they're spelling the people's names wrong on Traders. Did I should send you those? Yeah. The TikToks, they're so funny of like spelling like Tony is like a picture of a toe and then a picture of a knee, you know? Like,
because they can't figure out how to spell Dolores or Sierra.
There's like umlauts and like weird like letters from other like languages. It's very funny.
Okay, so we open up with the 3 of them in the bed. There's lots of kissing sounds. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, they're so hungry, because they're so sexy. Now here's something that we got a lot of zooming in of, which is this tattoo on his back, which is a hand on top of a hand. It's the same style of tattoo that she's got, which looks like a black and white photo. It's a style of tattoo that's very specific. If my daughter was around, I could ask her. But like that, she's got that thing on her arm that looks like a photo, right?
Okay.
That's the same style of tattoo he has on his back, and it's a hand on top of a hand.
Is it a grown-up hand?
I don't know.
Because on his front, he has
little feet.
2 little baby feet on his chest.
That looks like when you do the baby's feet when they're born, right?
Right.
He has that on his chest, and then on his back, he's got, it covers the whole middle of his back. It's a hand on top of a hand, black and white. And those are the only tattoos it seems that he has, which is very odd. The middle of his back.
Yeah. And his chest. It's weird.
2 little feet on his chest. Okay. All right. So, I just wrote.
Also, it's not sexy. Like if I was having private time with a gentleman and he has like baby feet on his chest,
Yeah,
I'd
it's
be
weird.
like, now I'm thinking about a baby. Like, am I going to get pregnant? Like,
Yeah. I don't understand. So I just wrote, what the hell is this? They're going to Ensenada today. So in the talking head, Ani alone says, last night Amani was sick. And so I had sex with Matt. Okay. And the talking head together, they're all like, oh, we're so excited. Like we're getting started on our 2 weeks together. It's great. So in the car, they're talking, which is their car, not a rental car, because they drove there. In the car, they talk about their trip. Now, did you notice that on one window, it's like stickers everywhere, and another window, there's like scribbles, like crayon scribbles. I was like, these people could have just wiped out the car with some Lysol wipes, but it's gross.
Oh, that's like what's his face, the drug guy with the weird jaw.
Like, yes, that looked like a dog was trying to claw its way out of that car. Yes, yes. That's what I looked like. Where I was like, did a dog try to eat up this windowsill? But no, I think a kid drew crayon all over it. So he's in the front alone, and the two women are in the back. Now we assume a cameraman or producer's in the front, but the two women are in the back, and he's seemingly alone in the front.
See, and again, this is
they don't like him.
The two women, they don't like him. Yeah.
It looks like they've packed up to go for 2 months, not 2 weeks. It's packed to the ceiling with shit. And she tells them that they're going to meet her brother, and her brother thinks Matt is her boyfriend and Amani is just a friend. And she's like, so I'm just like a third wheel. Like, what are you talking about? And he's up in the front just smiling. And Ani says, no, like when we get there, I'll explain, like, you're my girlfriend, but it's going to be hard to explain this, that we're like a threesome. It's hard to explain, but I just need time to explain it correctly. And Amani's like, ugh. So Amani goes, I don't want to be hidden like I've been in the past, because of my culture. And I don't think Ani's taking this seriously. She's trying to hide me. You're talking head. Ani goes, I'm Catholic. My whole family's Catholic. And, my family is really of the opinion you're only with one person. And I'll have to explain it to them, but I don't want to like lose my family over it. So I've got to sort of explain it slowly. Right.
Again, like, you haven't talked about this. Like, what do you talk about when you guys talk? Wouldn't that conversation have come up? Like, what does your family think about this?
No, because it's all fake, Kimberly.
Yeah.
So
or they just talk about sex all the time.
Sex, right.
But they don't want to be sexualized. Right.
So now they're in this new place. The hotel is gorgeous wherever they are, Ensenada, I guess. And, Amani and Matt are talking, they're in the hot tub and they're talking about how they don't want to be hidden. They want her to be open about it. Ani comes out and gets in the hot tub. And then Matt gets in the hot tub and he's got 2 little feet tattooed on his chest and 2 hands on his back. And what the fuck's happening here is what I wrote. Amani now comes in and gets in the hot tub. And then they're like talking to Matt and they're both like, oh, Matt, you're shy. Ooh. What are we doing here? What?
I thought you were like a couple. Why are you acting like this is your first date? Like, it's so weird. Like,
2 of these people are married and have children together. And then they're trying to act like, oh, Matt, are you shy? It's stupid. And so then Ani says to Amani, yesterday when you sleep, he had sex with me. Doesn't sound consensual if you say he had sex with me. Sounds like he had sex on you or something. And Amani's like, what? You did? And it's like, I just want to be treated with consideration. First, I'm hidden from your family. And now you had sex on her. What? Like, it's stupid. They're in a throuple. Okay.
I think it's so funny that Amani clearly had like traveler's diarrhea and is in the bathroom.
Montezuma's revenge or whatever.
And they're just doing it. Like,
well, that's the whole thing too, is I was wondering, like, did she fall asleep because she took something, because she's like, oh my God, like I'm sick. I got to take like my Imodium and my Xanax to knock myself out. And they're like, she asleep? Tap, tap, tap. Is this thing on? Tap, tap, tap. She's asleep. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
And the talking head, Matt says, after round 1, we tried to initiate again with Amani, but she was feeling sick. So we just did it without her. And I figured as long as we're all there and she was passed out, it was fine. So
I mean, like, yeah, you would think that. We just all had sex with each other. Like, these are not rules that they have established already.
They've established no rules. And anytime you ever see any kind of polyamorous situation, everything is very well boundaries laid out, rules established.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, we haven't come up with rules for this. And now I feel like they're like ganging up on me. Like I got to read the minds of 2 women now. Yeah.
I hate women. Why did I choose to be with 2 of them?
Also, they hate these 2 women. Yeah.
These 2 women look the same. So why? I don't even get the point. Like, it's just like weird. It's just also, it's weird that you want to be with a girl who looks exactly like you. Like you just want to sleep with your twin. And then he wants like 2 clone ladies. Like it's.
Well, Amani is a solid 2 feet shorter.
Yeah,
than
that's true.
Ani.
Yeah, that's true. But
she does look like
when
the
they're
little
sitting
sister.
down, it's all the same.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, when they're like in bed together, I could never tell which one is which.
Oh, well,
when they're all like rolling around together, it's just like 2 dark-haired ladies.
Wow. You're right. Okay. Let's move on to Sean and Aaliyah. Okay. So, by the way, I'm going to take it back what I said last week about thinking she got the forehead surgery because this week I could tell she has not. So maybe she had gotten some bangs in that episode where I thought because she talked about wanting to get her brow bone shaved down. Because I was thinking to myself, my God, if you got that, it seems like you would have some sort of scar or something, but maybe they just laparoscopically. I can't think about it.
I don't think so. I think they shaved down the bone.
I know, but how do they get in
there?
there?
Like with the Adam's apple surgery.
Yeah. How do they get in there? They got to cut that open?
Yeah. Or they go down. Might go down lavish. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, she's beautiful either way. Whatever.
They might go up the nose. I don't know how they do it. No, because I saw a YouTube video with a trans woman that I follow, and she talked about her surgery, and she had massive scars because they literally did like pull things and cut things, and they literally did like a face off, like in that movie.
Yes, face off. I know. Okay, this is giving me the bad feelings. So let's go on to something else. Okay. Sean and Aaliyah. So Sean and Aaliyah, I'm happy they're on the TV because I really think Aaliyah is just a bright light of happiness. So she comes out of her meeting. She says, I'm approved. She's very excited. She calls Sean and says, I'm approved. I'm so excited. And they're like,
that was such a fake out last week. The previews.
We knew it, but again, not a fake out because they started the season with her in the States.
That's
not a fake out.
It's for people not paying attention, a fake out.
Yeah, maybe. So they said, we've waited for so long. And he's like, I know. And now when you get here, we'll have to start planning the wedding. And she's like, yeah, and I'm going to meet all your family. And he says, well, that might not be as fun. And she twerks for him. And I love it every time she does it.
She just always twerks.
That's
her expression of joy.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Like it's like a dog wagging its tail, like literally.
It is.
I'm gonna shake my butt. Yeah.
Yeah. So in her talking head, she says, it was a big risk to go in there as myself, but I was treated with respect. They asked me how I wanted to be spoken to. I said as Aaliyah, and she felt very respected. She got approved. So that was great.
I'm so glad.
Me too. It was like, it could have been
there are still some good people out there.
That's right. So now he goes to a gay bar called Trunks, and he meets his mom, Jeannie. It's spelled Jeanne. Jeanne. Jeannie or Jean? I think Jeannie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, mom, she's
I-N-I-E or just
Jeanne. Jeannie.
Interesting.
Because sometimes Jean is J.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to call her Jeannie, and if it's Jean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So mom seems very cool. So if he's 62, let's just say his mom is 85. I think he says later his mom's 85.
80 something, yeah.
His mom's hip.
Very hip.
Very hip. Talking Eddie says his mom has met Douglas and also Aaliyah. His mom has been with him through the whole journey. He tells his mom everything. They're very close. He was living with her when he met Douglas. It was during the pandemic. And also his kids currently do not know Aaliyah exists much less that they're engaged. And my question
my
is,
God.
do they watch TLC? Did no one tell them? Because they've been on a whole other season. So how do the kids not know?
Yeah. How does no one in their life watch
Tell
the
them.
show and forwarded this to them?
And nobody in Los Angeles told his
And how
kids.
do you not tell your kids you're on a TV show?
Right. So that's not true. None of that's true. I don't like that. Are the
Or
kids like
he's
super sheltered
estranged from his children? Like,
there's not any way that their dad was on this show a full
because
season and nobody saw them.
This is not like hiding it from someone's parents and they live in the
Brazil.
Philippines or something. Yes. And it like this is an American show that has commercials on constantly for it. So there's no way that somebody wouldn't be like, I just saw your dad.
Yeah.
On 90 Day Love in Paradise.
Yeah. At least one of the kids. So, and he says, and the reason I never told them is the relationship kept changing. You know, it's like another country, a much younger person was a man, is now a female. Like, you know, it was a lot. Okay. Well, then probably you should have told them from the beginning and all of it wouldn't be so shocking at one time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he tells his mom, you know, the countdown will start soon for the 90 days. And mom says, he says, you know, the difference between like Douglas and Aaliyah is pretty stark. And mom goes, oh gosh, yes. You know, when I met Douglas was so shy, but then Aaliyah talks to me a lot. So that's, you know, great. I love it. There's a big difference between the two. And mom says, you know, we're going to have like a meet and greet for everybody to meet her. And he goes, well, you know, obviously the kids know something's going on because I keep going to Brazil and it's not going to be an easy conversation to have. It's going to be like, oh, by the way, I'm dating a person from Brazil who is 25, is also transgender, and we're engaged and we have 90 days to get married. He said, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you would have just, like everybody on the show, just tell them from the beginning, you ease into it. And the mom says, oh, yeah.
How old is he again?
62.
62. Okay.
Yeah. And mom says, yeah, your kids are very stubborn and they're going to get all together and chatter about you. And he says, oh, I know. They're going to be in a group text. And he goes, you know, I don't know. I guess I could tell them on the phone and then bring her around and then they can just talk about me behind my back. And mom goes, yeah. And the mom goes, another thought is, how is Aaliyah going to feel? Which I liked mom saying like, okay, that's how you're going to feel and the kids are going to feel, but how's Aaliyah going to feel coming into this situation?
Of course, Sean is like, oh yeah, totally forgot about her.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Yeah. The talking head mom says, look, I hope those kids don't cause any family drama. And the kids really actually, you know, I love them. They're my grandkids. They should be happy for him. It's his life. I hope they don't like screw this up for him, which is really sweet. And I think the mom could have a talk with him as well.
That's true. She could. Also, are they terrible? Because she keeps going, I love them, but are they terrible? Are they spoiled?
I think they might be terrible.
Are they Jordan? Are they
like, times 3?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, everyone wants to know, are you DTF? Down to farm, that is. That's right. Farmer Wants a Wife is back on Fox with 4 hot new farmers looking for the love of their lives. But are these ladies ready to take on farm life? And you know dating one woman has its challenges, but juggling 5? These farmers are gonna have their hands full. Don't miss the all-new season of Farmer Wants a Wife Thursday on Fox.
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
All right. So in Brazil, Aaliyah's mom comes over. I don't know how to pronounce her name. CLEUSA. It's like Klausa. Just going to call her mom. Just going to call her mom.
Just call her mom.
Mom comes over. Mom has brought food over to make this dessert. And, she's like, oh, you can't eat it all. You got to watch your curves. And they kind of laugh. And Aaliyah says, I'm sad because this will be our last meal together for a while. And Aaliyah says she is worried about Sean's children because he has not told them yet. She loves Sean's mom. Sean's mom is great. And she's like, is he embarrassed of me? Like, I don't know why he hasn't told them. And I hope when I get there, he's going to protect me and be my protector. And the mom in the talking head goes, why hasn't he told his children? Is he ashamed of her? Like, I don't want her to go there and literally have nobody's protecting her. And he's supposed to be like the fiance and be her protector, but he's not doing that by not telling the kids. Talking head Aaliyah says, my mother is my best friend and my main support. She's always been very supportive of me. And my mom wants me to be myself and live my life, as Leah. And my mom feels very worried that Sean will leave me because of the full transition that she wants to make. And my mom worries that he feels ashamed of me. And we're just hoping that when I get there, Sean will protect me. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I'm very worried.
Very worried too. Also, a listener wrote, and I'm not going to give this listener credit because I've forgotten her name that wrote it, but she wrote this long thing out and I tagged you. It was a Facebook post and just said that the reason Aaliyah is so like free within wanting to like dress this way and all this stuff is like when a person, this was their experience, when a person is transgender and they come into their new identity, it's like they're a rebellious teenager, right? They're like, they never got to have that like teenager phase as this person. So they kind of start over that way. Like, I'm going to be like, I never got to be a girl as a teenager. So now I'm going to start from there, which is, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very interesting.
And also like her being like, I'm not going to be hidden because, and I'm not going to change because I've been hiding for so long. And Amani said the same thing. Like I've been hiding my whole life. So now I'm out and loud and proud because I'm swinging in the opposite direction of being like embarrassed or hiding or ashamed. Yeah. I'm no longer ashamed. Yeah.
Now I'm just going to be in your face,
Yeah.
And you have to accept it. Yeah. Accept it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want the best for Aaliyah. Aaliyah's a sweet baby angel that needs to be protected.
Sweet baby freaking angel, Aaliyah. Like, I'm so disheartened by that preview where she just seems so sad here and says she has like nobody.
I know. Oh, so many people, get that when they come here. They're like, oh, it's going to be great. It's the American dream. But then they have nobody but their person that they're with. And that's in any scenario, you shouldn't just have your partner. You got to have friends. You got to have like a full life, So next time on, Sarper and she kind of go to the beach to act out a Baywatch fantasy.
Yeah, that should be good TV.
That should be good TV. Greg and Joan meet with these two guys. I don't know if it's a brother or cousin or what, who says, realistically, are you going to try to get a real job and move out of your parents' house? And he goes, yeah, that's our plan. But like, I don't want to rent. So, maybe 1 or 2 years at mom's house.
He has not planned this at all. There's a huge difference between 1 and 2 years.
And I think he told her like 3 months.
Yeah. Do you have a budget? Like, do you have any plan whatsoever?
And why are you snobby about renting?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's throwing money down the toilet when they could be living with the mom. But if she's freaking miserable living with the mom, it would be worth it.
Yeah, totally. And so when he says 1 to 2 years, then a talking head, Joan says, if I would have known that really he's thinking 1 to 2 years, I would not have come here. Yeah. And I think that's right. Maddie says he misses his parent. He's talking to Stevie and he says he misses his parents. Of course, he does think about ways that he could possibly go back. And she says, talking to him about this is the first time I've ever questioned his motives. We think this is all fake, but I think they're fine.
Yeah, I think they're fine.
They just need something.
He can still meet the parents in like Turkey, right?
I believe so.
That's what people told us.
Yeah, that's what people said. Sean and Aaliyah talk, and she says to him, if you didn't have to marry me for me to come here, would you still want to marry me? Which is a good question. And he goes, no, I don't have a big need to get married. Like I've been married. I don't. So no. And And then she says, I'm not sure if I'm going to marry him if he still feels this way at the end of 90 days. Because she wants him to say, like, yes, no matter what, I want to marry you no matter what. But he's like, if you could have just come here as my girlfriend and moved in, like, I don't need to get married. But that wasn't the right answer.
It totally wasn't. But I get it's a thing again with this huge age differences. It's one person has been there, done that, and they don't need the paperwork again. It doesn't matter to them. And they don't need the ceremony. But then you have a young woman who's like, I want my dream wedding. I want to be married and like live that dream.
Yeah.
And he's like already done that, you know?
Yeah. So I see his point, but it was the wrong answer.
Yeah.
You know, it'd have been like, it's just been like, I wasn't getting married again, wasn't on my radar, but if that means I can be with you, then that's great. So we're getting married and I love you. And that's wonderful, you know?
Yeah.
So Amani is acting mad that Ani had sex with Matt. And she keeps saying she feels
when she was pooping.
When she was pooping or whatever was happening, she feels disrespected. And he was like, how would I have known this? There are no rules in place. I didn't know. Do I have to ask permission? So he's saying to her, do I have to ask permission? And she says, yes. So she's in charge.
So like they're like in bed together and he has to stop what's happening and like go knock on the bathroom door. Be like, honey, I know you are vomiting right now, but can I stick it in? Like, is that okay?
Right. What are the rules? The rules are if he wants to have sex with Ani alone, he has to ask Amani. So does that same rule apply when they go back home 45 minutes away? Does he have to call Ani on the phone and say, is it okay if I have sex with my wife? Yeah.
With my wife. Yeah, that's a good point.
And do the two of them have to ask Matt if they want to go off together?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. They need to establish some rules.
So back
and if
in
you're
Southport,
Polly, let us know what your rules are.
Right.
I'm kind of curious. If you all live together, like, do you have, like, I understand if you like have to arrange for a meeting to have sex, but if you're all like together and something might just happen naturally, do you have to like stop and go and wherever the other person is, like golfing or something, and ask them? Like,
yeah, golfing. I was going to tell you, you know, this new show is coming out on TLC, and the name of the show is Polly Family, and it's coming out on April 29th, so at the end of April. And
I'm interested. I watched a show on HBO with several poly couples, and it was like there was one that had 4 people, and there was so much jealousy and complication.
Poly family is 4 people. It's 2 couples that joined, and then the men swap up with the women, but the women aren't together and the men aren't together. And so I'll see as I get closer if I have time where I can fit it in. I know Amy Archer's going to cover it on her free feed, so I might just roll it into Hey Bunky as a like, let's chat about it, but not cover it fully. Because likely I won't have time to fit that in. Okay. Still
still don't have time for Muslim matchmaking. So.
I don't, and that kills me actually. So at the end, we're still doing next time on. The last thing we see is back in Southport, not Bald Head Island. Mina is like,
you're so bitter.
I'm so like, they told me Bald Head was going to be featured, and Bald Head is not featured. You can't see it standing from where they were in Southport. I think they were looking at Oak Island. Okay. Back in Southport, Mina is like, she can't come to my wedding, and Jordan is leaving. And Mark says, look, if Mina can't get along with Jordan, maybe we can't get married. And Mina says, I'm going back to New Hampshire, slams the bathroom door. And he's like,
I'm going to go hang with Martini Pat.
Blah, blah,
Martini
blah, blah,
Pat
blah.
will listen to me.
This is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And he grumbles old man style and slams the door. That's it. That's the end of the show, guys.
At least she didn't say I'm going back to Paris.
True. How
she'd
she's getting back to New Hampshire, I don't know.
I'm going to go back and be eaten by a bear
rather
than talk to your daughter.
I would rather be in Southport, honestly. Kimberly,
they both look pretty.
Okay, Kimberly A Date with Dateline. I did text you earlier this week to make sure you're going to cover what was on Friday.
Yeah.
As a woman got killed. Her name was Desiree.
Yes.
Yes. And speaking of Polly, there's a lot of swinging and swapping going on that episode. It was hard to keep track of.
And there were no rules that were established, and there was lying about what was
Lots
happening.
of lying. Anyway, that's the show that you guys will be covering. It's Friday night's Dateline. They cover that on Wednesday on A Date with Dateline. And it's good, clean fun is what it is.
It really is. It's good, clean murder is fun.
Good, clean murder. No cursing. No cursing on that show.
No.
Do you ever accidentally say a bad word and then you have to cut it out?
I don't think I ever have. Maybe once. Yeah. And then
just over here, you just let it fly.
Let hear it. I just don't do it that bad much here, but and I still feel guilty when I do it because I've trained myself.
I know that's great though. That's great in life because my mouth is a complete sewer and I have to really, really watch it. And I cursed last night on the Yellow Jackets thing right at the beginning, but then I caught myself.
Cursed so many times last night.
I said the F word right at first. I said, I'm so sorry. And then I tried to never say it again.
SH word several times. And I don't know if Katie had a reaction, but I was just like, I don't know how I marked this. It's more about like, did I mark this properly? Or are we going to get taken down? I don't know if you have
to please. You don't think you no, you can't. Not for SHIT.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know how it works. All I know is our podcast is marked clean.
I know. Well, mine was marked clean for a while because my producer was like, it's better to ask for forgiveness. Go ahead and mark it clean. I go, well, we say a lot of gross stuff and it's definitely explicit. Yeah. So if you are going to ever have Keisha on to talk about Yellow Jackets, you'll have to tell her beforehand.
Yeah.
Because she curses worse than I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She really does. Everybody follow Kimberly and Katie over there on Instagram. Follow me at Pink Shade Pod. Kimberly and Katie, everything is at Dateline. If you just start typing in date and date, it'll pop up. And if you like Kimberly and I together, or even if you don't, we're covering the Baldwins over on Pink Shade Prime. That's on the $10 level. You can get it there. You just sign up in the show notes or just go over to pinkshadepodcast.com and you can sign up. And we're loving the Baldwins, and we don't care who knows it.
I mean, I still have a little shame, but I'm working with my therapist to let
Okay,
go.
good. Yeah, I don't have a therapist right now, so I'm just working it through with you.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.